Hey guys, so the Penny trial came to conclusion today. Move, buddy, move. He came. So the jury found him not guilty, and I told my wife, I said, "It's not over. Watch what's to come." Apologize, I'm feeding my rabbit. I have one of my mini animals, but soon as the trial was over with, you had, some family members. You had other people coming up and look. I absolutely feel for the family right now. I hate that a family member of theirs, which was a son, maybe a brother, I don't know who all his family members was there. They lost a loved one, right? My heart goes out to them, and it's 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 really natural for, regardless of the circumstance, regardless of what anyone says, at the end of the day, that was um, their loved one that got killed. And but this is what I'll say to that. Yes, I can see both sides of it. I hate what the young man's had to go through the with everything, and I think he got put in a place that he thought that was the only way that um, maybe he could keep himself and others safe. I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't hear the jury trial. I'm not judging it either way. But what I will say is that man needs to leave New York because they'll never let him live because of what's going on. And this is what I'll say to the family. Again, my heart absolutely goes out to you. I know there's a lot of people pushing um, the race issue and all that mess, and I believe, and I still believe, this a crock of shit. I've been in New York, walked the streets of New York, helped a homeless out in New York, um, reached and gave money, not just dollar bills. I've gave hundreds of dollars to the homeless people in New York, trying to do my part. And I heard someone else say today, when you see someone in need, go help them. And I believe that with all my heart. I believe that people use um, their Christianity base or whatever religion they believe in. I think they use it as a cop out when they come up and say, "Oh, I'm gonna remember you in prayer." When they come up and tell you, "Man, I'm hungry, I'm starving, I'm cold, I'm freezing," and you've got the ability to help that young brother or sister out, and you use the cop out saying, "I'm gonna go home and pray for you," and you don't realize that God just put you in that place where you cross that person's path for you to be able to help that person. Which whatever help that you can give me, if it was $2, if it was $5, if it was $100, if it was free food or a night in a motel room, whatever that you could do, buy a man a coat, whatever. And the reason I say that, I say things that I would do that I have already done. So I think we're all called to help one another. But then I heard some, this is where you're probably going to get mad at me. This is when I heard people that comes out of the woodworks when something tragic, and absolutely this is tragic, when this something like this happens. You get people like Al Sharpton, you get the race baiter, the Black Lives Matter bullshit. You get all this stuff, and it's not just Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, right? But the Black Lives Matter deal, and all you have to do is the research on it. Don't take my word for it. Go on the internet and type it up. They use situations like this, and they're coming out like they're going to help the community. They're going to do this for the community. They're going to do that for the community. And the only ones that's bettering themselves off are the ones that's running that so-called Black Lives Matter. They getting millions of dollars. They getting supported by people all over the nation to push agendas, and they have no understanding or part on even what they're doing. When they come up and they talking about vigilantes, that the black people need their own vigilantes. And I hope it don't happen tonight. But those people need to shut the fuck up, Because when people are angry like this and people are upset because they lost their brother or sister, whoever it may be, people are at the edge to do. They can do and say and do anything because they're angry. And a lot of times when people get angry, the first thing they start doing is start burning things down and start destroying things. So for the Black Lives Matter leader that come up and said, telling everybody to get to vigilantes and go out and do all these things, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to cause an uprising. If he's going to start burning something, if he wants to really start and make people believe, tell him to start with his fucking house. Tell him to start it in his neighborhood. Tell him to start it on his vehicle. Tell him to start it with somebody in his family. But you mean tell you what that begins to do for the families in New York that are just trying to live and trying to survive and try to get from day to day and trying to feed their kids and worry about their kids every day because they're living in a place that is wide damn open. I've been in New York and there's all grades, all shades of people up there. You've got people as crazy as hell. You've got good people. I've met some of the best people in this world that is homeless. That's just had a something go bad in their life and it just destroyed their whole life. I met a black man one time, and he just had moved down here in North Carolina. I don't know how he got here. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he came with somebody. I don't know the situation, but he lost his wife had died. They'd been married for a long, long time, right? He come down here, and I used to see him every week at the homeless shelter when I would go down there and visit him, and we would take him food and clothes and everything. And he got to asking me for could I bring him camouflage sleeping bags and all this stuff. And I asked him what I said, why the camouflage? He said, well, when I sleep out in the middle of this field, if it's camouflage or if it's a brown color, he said the cops won't pay attention to it as much and they won't be able to see me when I'm laying out there asleep. But if I have, a yellow or a red or something like that, he said they're gonna pick me out and they're gonna come mess with me. And that's, even if that's all I'm doing, I'm sleeping. So one year at Christmas, we took them coats, and we would put them up in motels and do everything. Well, when one or two people is trying to do things and you're trying to run your own home, there ain't a whole lot that you can do. I mean, you do all that you can, but you would think that there's other people would stand up. But that man, he was 70, almost 80 years old. He was going into a facility like a substation for electrical substation, and he went in there and he was going to get him some copper so he could go sell him some copper so he could get him some money to eat or whatever. Well, he touched the wrong thing and it killed him. But me and him had many talks about New York and how hard it was to survive up there and how cold and living in cardboard with newspapers and all this stuff. And it's just, my heart just goes out to that family. But to the family, don't let people bait you into something. If you believe that's what you're doing the right thing, then you go forth with the other part. That if you're trying to, the financial part's gonna make you better, then by all means you do whatever your heart says. But for these people coming up trying to push you and trying to for their agenda, they need to stay their ass away from you because they're not helping you. Only thing they're doing is fueling the fire. And tonight, if anything happens in New York City tonight, that man that stood on national TV and told people they need to turn around and start being their own vigilantes, well, that tells me that you're going to target people because of their skin tone. You could say what you want to, but the only people that ever talks about race, you might be racist yourself. Because I sure am, for one, am not. I've brought children into my home and raised them that were their skin color different than mine. Does that mean that I'm better than they? Absolutely not. Hell, one of them, one of the girls, she's a damn police officer now. One of them is an aspiring rapper. So when people try to throw that slang and shit at you, the only thing that they're doing when they go out and they're gonna burn down these drugstores or these restaurants is gonna get tired of putting up with this shit. So who are you helping when you burn down let's say a CVS? Who you helping? First off, they've got that damn thing insured for probably 3 times what it's worth. And when you burn that thing down, and then they look on the inside of how much inventory they left, and all the inventory's done been stolen, and they probably had $3,000 or $4,000 worth of inventory left, and then they've got probably $15 million from the insurance company. And the next thing you know, you see a bulldozer coming there cleaning up all the rubble where the building's been burnt down, the signs being taken down, and they're leaving, not to return, going somewhere else. They ain't got to put up with that shit. So when you go in your communities and you burn down your damn businesses and your houses and damage everything, the police cars, you know who pays for that shit? You're a taxpayer. You're paying for the shit. You're letting people push you into something to go out and tear something all to hell that in the end result, you're the only one that's suffering because when they catch you, they're going to put you in prison. And then your taxes is going to go up. You're going to have less money than what you got, all because you listen to a black man get on TV and tell people that some needs to be vigilantes on their own and not depend on the government anymore. Am I taking up for the government? Hell no. I've got my own squawks with the way they handle shit and the way they do things. But the Democrats and the liberals at one time always used to say, you've got to trust the law. Our law system is the best law system in the world. And then the jury of your peers, you have to believe there was nothing unconstitutional about that. They served as they should have until it goes against your belief and then you turn it into a race issue. Stop doing that shit. Because the only thing you're doing is you're causing other people to lose their fucking lives over you trying to gain money in your damn back pocket to better your fucking life. And the families that lost every fucking thing, they're still the same fucking way they are, but you're sitting over there and you've gained millions of dollars for pushing this race baiting shit and going on TV and trying to push the family and doing something that they shouldn't do. Yes, the family lost someone. In this world, our heart goes out to them. Bad things happen. But when you sow bad things, you get bad things. My granny told me one time, and I never really knew what it meant till I got older. And she said, if you step in shit long enough, sooner or later you're going to come out smelling like it. So if you waller in all this damn racist shit that you're trying to push right now against the color of your damn skin tone and ruin friendships with some of the people that you grew up with, all because something that happened on another side of the world that you had no fucking control of, and you're gonna jump on somebody's side. The only way, the side that you need to jump on is the side that night when you go home before you go to bed, before you lay your head down, pray for them. Tell God to touch their heart. Tell God to give them peace, comfort, and understanding. We've all got a assigned time that we're going to leave this world. I just want to make sure that I leave it better than the way I found it. Don't let these people destroy your hope. Don't let these people that's making money off of your damn name steal your joy. Tell them to get the hell away from you. Forgive and live. Let me know what you think about this. I want to hear some comments on it. I mean, let me hear. I don't give a damn if you agree with me or you don't. That's just my take on it. I think we're all but make a better world. Hell, if we could just talk sometimes. It ain't all got to be about fussing and fighting all this other bullshit and people getting killed. Sometimes we just need to talk or lend a helping hand. Can you do that? Can you lend a helping hand to to a brother on the street or a sister on the side of the road selling her body? Can you go over and tell her some good news or help her get her a room so she can get off the street that night so she ain't got to worry about food? Can you help somebody today? Or can you hurt them of spreading hate? It's up to you. Like, share, comment, follow me on this page. Thank you, guys.